Mind Matters Initiative presents.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I want to take this opportunity to welcome you all again to today's episode. I guess it's been a while now. I hope you haven't forgotten whatever topics you were talking about. Now, this is Mind Matters Initiative, and on behalf of it, on behalf of the other members of Mind Matters Initiative, I want to take this opportunity to welcome each and every one of you who have set time aside to come and listen to this informative video. Thank you so much. Today's topic, we want to look at an approach, a psychological approach that is used by psychologists in dealing with the mental health issue that is known as stress. Now, the topic today is acceptance and commitment therapy. Now, I understand on the previous videos, if you have watched, you might have got an opportunity to know about stress, how it presents itself, the symptoms, both physical, emotional, cognitive symptoms, how it impacts our mental health and how it impacts our physical health. Now today we want to look at the this approach, this major therapy that is used in managing this stress. Now, what is acceptance and commitment therapy? This one is just a type of cognitive behavioral therapy approach that focuses more on helping individuals accept their own feelings and thoughts without judging themselves. An individual may find themselves in the moment whereby they are overwhelmed by negative thoughts, or sometimes positive, or just emotions, negative emotions that may be encountering in their life. Hence, when you use acceptance and commitment therapy, you help this individual towards accepting their own self without fear of judging themselves. Now, how do they do this? They focus on living in the present moment, the moment that they are, the things that are affecting them on a day-to-day basis. While they focus on this, the present, they are aligning towards the behaviors that go hand in hand with their personal values, despite the negative situations that is happening in their life. Now, with the acceptance and commitment therapy, it is guided by 6 major principles, which are acceptance. Number one, which is the most important one, is acceptance. We have cognitive diffusion. We have also being present, the one that is being focused on acceptance plus being in the present moment. We have self as a context, and also we have values clarification and committed action. Now let's look at these principles so that we can understand them better. The principle of acceptance. This is just a way of embracing one's thoughts fully, the thoughts and emotions and all the feelings that a person is going through at the current moment. They are during this therapy, they are allowed to accept themselves, the negative things that they come with. They are allowed to accept themselves fully without judging themselves. We understand that you cannot confront something without fully understanding it. The same way, when someone's mind or body is undergoing a lot of conflicts in their life and they want someone else to help them, they first have to understand themselves. And how do they understand themselves? By fully accepting who they are, whatever they come with, in whatever situation, so that it may help themselves in understanding. It may help themselves and also the other people around it. So when this person understands themselves, he or she is also able to give the person, let me use psychologist, to give the psychologist a better way of them setting goals together, so towards their recovery. Now that's all about acceptance. What is cognitive diffusion as a principle? This is just a principle that focuses on changing the way the people interact with their own thoughts. How do they do this? They achieve this by creating a certain distance between themselves as a whole and the negative thoughts that they are having. Now, I believe that you may have understood acceptance as accepting yourself wholly without judgment. This is without judging yourself. But now, cognitive diffusion is all about your mind, the way your brain is understanding the battles that are going on in your body. It's this when you create a small distance between your thoughts, your negative thoughts, and you yourself as a whole, it reduces the impact of the negative thoughts or feelings towards your mental health. Now, the other principle of acceptance and commitment therapy is the principle of being in the present. Now, during this therapy, clients are always encouraged to always stay in the present. How do they stay in the present, or how do they achieve this? Okay, during therapy, you might find some people are just out of this reality. They are overthinking about the triggers to their stress or the current conflicts that are going on in their mind. So techniques like techniques like mindfulness or deep breathing exercises, or just grounding techniques like the 5 grounding techniques that we know, identifying 5 things that you can hear, identifying 4 things that you can see, identifying 3 things that you can taste, identify 1 thing that you can smell, and so on and so on. Now, this helps an individual to stay in the present. Now, when this client is able to stay in the present, it helps them interact with the world while doing away with the past experiences, or avoiding future anxieties that may affect them. The next principle about acceptance and commitment therapy is the principle of viewing yourself as a context. Now, what do I mean by this? This is whereby the client is able to put themselves away from the negative thoughts or feelings that they are having. When they view themselves as separate from those thoughts and feelings, they can create a sense of self that is stable enough to help them avoid or reduce the negative impact of the stress that they are currently having or going through. Also, through this principle, one is able to understand that they are their own individual. They are not the thought, they are not the negative feeling that is affecting them. So they can be able to handle the triggers or the stresses they are having without them feeling overwhelmed. When you understand and accept that I might be thinking negatively, I might be feeling negatively towards a difficult situation, but no, I am so and so, I can do this, and I am not, this feeling cannot overpower me, it cannot control me, I am the one in control of this feeling. Now, this also helps one to build a certain strong resilience towards the stress that they are going through. The next principle that we had listed was the principle of values clarification. Now, what do I mean by values clarification? This is just a principle that helps clients to identify that thing, that small thing, or different things that are important in their lives, such that when a situation arises that they are confronted by a lot of emotions, a lot of negative thoughts, they can be able to highlight and put aside whatever that is important to them and differentiate it from the things that are not important, from the thoughts that are not important to them. Hence, when they are able to identify and differentiate these things or activities, they can be able to focus on meaningful activities instead of directing their whole energy, their whole thinking, their everything towards the negative emotions. Now, the other principle is the principle of committed action. What do I mean by this? During therapy, when a psychologist is using the acceptance and commitment therapy, there is always this aspect of setting goals. Now, this is just a way of commitment action. Now, these goals that are set during this committed action, they should be the goals that align with the individual's values. They should align with the client's values so that they can achieve them despite the obstacles of fear, doubt, anxieties, or all kinds of worries that are that they are facing in life. Now, how can these principles of acceptance and commitment therapy help these individuals during who are undergoing stress recovery, or who are trying to manage the current stressors in their lives? Now, when you look at acceptance, when this client is able to understand whatever they are going through, they have accepted it without judging themselves, they can now be able to understand that this stress that they are currently facing is normal. It is something that is part of day-to-day activities. So instead of fighting it or trying to eliminate it in very ambiguous ways, this person can be able to just find ways of living with it normally. When you look at cognitive diffusion, how does it help the client during the therapy? The client is able to realize that a thought is just a thought. By detaching themselves from those negative thoughts, as we had said earlier, they can now be able to say, I am in control, and these negative thoughts are just thoughts, and they are not the absolute truth that is happening in my real life. When you look at mindfulness, now this being in the present helps the client be able to do away, or be able to stop ruminating in the past, or having constant worries about future outcomes. On the area of clarification of values, how does this help this individual during therapy? When you as a psychologist, you are able to help your client clarify the values, the things that are most important in their life. Now they are able to focus their energy on the meaningful activities and not the small things that are making them be constantly worried. The principle of committed action helps individuals feel more in control and less paralyzed by the thoughts that they are having. We have that principle of self as a context. How does it help these individuals during therapy? It is just similar to the principle of committed action and clarification of values. Now, when these clients are able to understand whatever their stressors are, they are able to accept them. They are able to separate themselves from the negative feelings and thoughts. They are able to set the goals that they want to achieve. They are able to have to identify important things in their lives. Now, this helps them towards an effective recovery when they are trying to manage their stress. Now, when they do this, or when the therapist plus the client is able to achieve this during the sessions that they are having with the client, it helps them have a more meaningful life, a more life that is fulfilling, and also a life that is resilient to stress or any type of triggers that they may be confronted with in their life. So thank you. This was just a short explanation on acceptance and commitment therapy. In the next videos, I will look more on the approaches that one can use in managing their stress. Thank you. That was all for today. Bye bye. Until next time.